Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? Welcome to the channel. It's your girl, Philly Phil, aka PP. Look, I know it is late or early in the morning. I was actually out. I've been out. I've been out and about. I went out tonight. I was trying to get home to join another panel. I talked to my brother, but it ended before I could get home. So I said, well, you know what? I meant to do this earlier today, but I didn't get a chance to. I don't know how many people will be up to watch this type of a video this time of the morning, because normally the type of videos that's going on this time in the morning are messy, mixy, and talking about folks and just getting in folks' business. But we are talking politics this morning, social justice politics. So I know this probably isn't the type of video that will attract a lot of viewers. However, if you do stop by, just in case you stop by, please hit the like button, thumbs it up, share us out. And I have a short that is really doing really well on Deion Sanders and his daughter Deandra, his oldest daughter, who's about to give him his first grandchild. It's doing really well. It's up to 7,000 views. Check it out, like it, and share it out, okay? And make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Hello, Smitty Smittiful. How are you? Patricia Gates is in the building. So I have two people that are speaking. It's not a lot of y'all in here. Look, I know y'all up. I know this is not a messy video. It's not a gossip. This is about politics. We need to know what is going on? Did Fani Willis just give us another 4 years of Donald Trump, a man who tried to he led an insurrection? I mean, come on, people. Come on, people. Look at that. Look at that. Let me see if I can do something with this here. There you go. I'm going to do it like that. I'm going to do it like that. There. Look at that. Did this woman and her lover man, her good thing. Boy, I tell you, love is something else, isn't it? Love is something else. It's a powerful thing. Yes, it is. It's a powerful thing. And the love and the affection for that man right there, who has since had to resign as the lead prosecutor. So Fani Willis, she's the DA. She was messing around with the prosecutor. Yes. That case out there in Georgia. Let me see here. Hello, Brandy. Hello, good early morning. That's right. Hello, Zaboria Short. How you doing? How are you doing? Let me hear let me see. Let me do it this way. And let me put my banner up, because YouTube, I'm doing a reaction and some commentary. Let me see what this judge had to say, honey.
Hours after a judge's ruling in former President Trump's Georgia election interference case, Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade tendered his resignation. The judge's ruling ordered Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis to either step aside or order Wade to quit the case because they had been involved romantically and it created an appearance of impropriety.
He had to. There was no way that it was going to be the elected district attorney of Fulton County, Fani Willis, who was going to step down. After this decision came out.
On social media, former President Trump celebrated the decision, calling Wade a disgrace. In a letter to Willis, Wade wrote he was resigning in the interest of democracy and to move this case forward as quickly as possible. But an attorney who represented Kenneth Chesborough, who pleaded guilty last year in the Georgia case, says the legal wrangling has set back the start of a potential trial.
It means the case goes from almost impossible going to trial before November to actually impossible to go to trial before November.
Meanwhile, in New York City, another judge handed down a partial victory for former President Trump's legal team, ordering a 30-day delay in another criminal trial. Trump faces felony charges for falsification of business records related to payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels. Trump's attorneys had asked for a 90-day delay, claiming they just recently began receiving more than 100,000 pages of documents in pretrial discovery.
Okay. So first of all, can we just admit that Donald Trump is a fraud and a liar? From Stormy Daniels to all of the other things that he's done. He's a crook. He's a criminal. But there's certain people in America. There's a certain group of people in America that want this man to be president. They don't care if we lose our rights. They don't care if we become some type of a country that just has to live by the rules of the government. They do not care. They don't mind if we become a third world. They don't care. They only want they just want a certain type of a breed to rule. I mean, what do y'all think? Hello? So is this a little like the Clinton scandal years ago? Child, it's better than that. It's better than that, honey. They just giving Trump what he wants. He wants the trial to start after the election. Right. They need to find him guilty before the election. And this, I don't understand why Fani would have an affair with. Don't you know, we have to be smarter. We have to know more, even if it's just to apply for a job, picking up trash. We've got to be smarter and know the most. I'm just saying, there's no room for error. No room for error. And this woman, as smart as she is, and make no mistake about it, she's a smart woman. She let the ping get her. Ping, ping, ping. Shout out to Nicole's perspective. Ping, ping. She let the ping get her. She let the ping get the best of her. She did. Let me get myself together. I forget what channel I'm on, okay? But she let it get the best of her. She did. Now, because of her affair with this man, I think I had another video I want to show about that too. Because of her affair with this man, he was her lead prosecutor and he had to resign as prosecutor. That was one of the choices of whatever the judge gave them. We're going to read over a little bit of what the judge said, but she's lost her lead prosecutor, so now she has to pretty much, start from scratch. And that's not a good thing. That is not a good thing, guys. What did that say? Oh, I already read that one. I thought that was some numbers. But that's not a good thing. So let me see. I thought I had another video that I wanted to show y'all before I got started. Like I say, this is impromptu. This is what time? It's almost 1 a.m. in the morning. It is what it is. It is what it is, honey. Maybe it's on this other phone. Hold on. Let me check this, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. Hold on one second. Okay. So we're going to just look into a little bit of what the court document said. Well, what the ruling said. Let me see if I can read it. Order on defendant's motion to dismiss and disqualify the Fulton County's district attorney. Okay, so this is the order from the judge. This is the order from the judge. All right, so we're just going to take a little look-see into it. Why don't we? Okay. It says 8 co-defendants later joined and supplemented the motion, raising additional grounds for disqualification of that district attorney. It says, among other allegations of disqualifying conduct, the defendants contend that the district attorney obtained a personal stake in the prosecution of this case by financially benefiting from her romantic relationship with Special Assistant District Attorney SADA, Special Assistant District Attorney Nathan Wade. Okay, Nate Dogg, whom she personally hired to lead the state's prosecution team. So, guys, look. She started having an affair with her special prosecutor. And so the judge has admonished her, and he has had to resign. And so now they sort of had to, I guess you could say they have to start from scratch in a way. That it hurts the case. It hurts the case against Donald Trump. Even though he's as guilty as sin. We all saw with our own eyes and heard what he said on the day that he lost his rebid for election. He didn't want to leave. And if he gets back in there, he may never leave. We have we have a deal here where a president can only serve for 2 terms. If Trump gets back in, he'll never leave. And people will just they will just agree with it. I think some of you would just agree with it. You don't have the fight in you. You don't want to stand up for what's wrong. All right, what was I? Let me see. What was I? Right here. Okay. Let me go back to this. Oops. So it says Nathan Wade, whom she personally hired. Okay. More specifically, defendant Roman alleges that the district attorney and the SADA, that's what they're going to use, Special Assistant District Attorney, SADA, Wade, traveled together on multiple vacations, with Wade covering many of the associated expenses. Oh my goodness. Now you traveling with the lead district attorney, with the lead prosecutor woman. It says defendant Roman later supplemented his motion with receipts from some of these travels. The state responded with an affidavit arguing that the district attorney had not received any financial benefit through her relationship with Wade. Fani is the district attorney. Roman Wade, I believe that's his name, is the special prosecutor. They were having an affair. She was getting the ping from the special prosecutor, which you cannot do. These people have gone to some of the best. Let me come back over here for a minute. These two people, believe it or not, have attended some of the best colleges and law schools in America. They know better, people. They know better. They knew what they were doing was wrong, but the flesh got the best of them. And now the United States of America will have to pay for their transgressions. Yes, we will. We're going to have to pay for her wanting the ping. What did Larry Reid say? Ain't nothing wrong with a little ping every now and again. But she didn't need it right then. She didn't need it right then. No, she did not. Not from her special prosecutor. When you're the DA, you can't do that. You can't mix the two together. No, you can't do it. You know, we know what will happen if you do it. A judge will come in and you'll have to either leave the case or your special prosecutor will have to leave the case. All right, let's get back to it, honey. Let's get back to reading this over here. It says, defendant Roman later supplemented his motion with receipts. Okay, I read that. As alleged, the claims presented, wait a minute, presented a possible financial conflict of interest for the district attorney. More importantly, the defense motions and the state's response created a conflict in the evidence that could only be resolved through an evidentiary hearing, and one that could not simply be ignored without endangering a criminally accused constitutional right to procedural due process. Wow, those are some big words, honey. After receiving 2.5 days of testimony, during which the defendants were provided an opportunity to subpoena and introduce whatever relevant and material evidence they could muster, the court finds that the defendants failed to meet their burden of proving that the district attorney acquired an actual conflict of interest in this case through her personal relationship and recurring travels with her lead prosecutor. So the district attorney, DA Fani, was traveling around the world with her lead prosecutor. You can't do that, Fani. Girl, I don't know what kind of ping he had, but he just messed everything up. It says the other alleged grounds for disqualification, including forensic misconduct, are also denied. However, semicolon, comma, the established record now highlights a significant appearance of impropriety that infects the current structure of the prosecution team, an appearance that must be removed through the state's selection of one of two options: the defendant's motions and therefore granted in part. Actual conflict of interest, y'all. It was a conflict of interest, y'all. You can't be sleeping with your lead prosecutor. It says our highest courts consistently remind us that prosecutors are held to a uniquely and exacting professional standard in light of their public responsibility and their power. Judges have a lot of power, guys, and so do prosecutors and district attorneys. Every newly minted prosecutor should be instilled with the notion that she seeks justice over conviction and that she may strike hard blows but never foul ones. And then they give you a case to reference if you have any doubt in what they're saying. Berger versus United States of America. It says, most importantly, prosecutors are expected to assume a role beyond a mere advocate for one side and must make decisions in the public interest, not their own personal or political interests. Prosecutors can't use their own or their political or personal interests when they make decisions. Neither can judges. They're not supposed to. It says, his is a public duty. He represents the entire public. A judge and a prosecutor represents everyone. I don't care who voted you in, Republicans or Democrats. You represent everyone. You do. It says, recognizing these are not empty slogans nor toothless admonitions without practical effort. Georgia courts have not hesitated to step in and use their inherent authority to disqualify a state prosecutor when required, especially when that prosecutor labors under an actual conflict of interest, i.e. sleeping with the freaking district attorney and traveling around the country with the heifer. Whew, child. Okay. Each court may exercise such powers as necessary to protect or effectuate its judgment. Its judgments. It's too early in the morning to be reading all these big old words, but I'm doing the best I can. Every court has power to control in the furtherance of justice the conduct of its officers and all other persons connected with a judicial proceeding before it in every matter appertaining thereto. And they give you another case. They cite another case. It says courts have an independent interest in ensuring that criminal trials are conducted within the ethical standards of the profession and that legal proceedings appear fair to all who observe them. I mean, if you're not going to be fair, at least make it appear fair, people. And they quoted Wheat versus the United States, the USA. Disqualifying of a prosecutor due to a conflict of interest is thus not a creature of statute so much as it is a judicial remedy recognizing by our appellate courts since the formation, since we created the courts, generally on grounds of public policy, as the administration of the law should be free from all temptation and suspicion so far as human agency is capable of accomplishing that object. And humans are, we have a lot of flaws. Humans have a lot of flaws, men and women. As you see, a woman was leading this and she let her emotions get the best of her. She fell for the ping, and now her lead prosecutor has had to resign. Fani did something that she knows better. She knew it was wrong. Look, I want you all first to understand that Fani and whatever his name is, I can't even think of his name, they knew it was wrong. They're very smart. Those two individuals are that prosecutor and that district attorney, baby. A district attorney is also a lawyer. That DA is very smart. She knew what she was doing. She knew it was wrong, but she let her heart and her emotions take over against one of the most important cases of America's lifetime, in my opinion. I think our future freedom of speech and everything rides on this case, because if Trump were to win, he's never going to leave office again. He's never going to leave. There will be an insurrection that will not be able to be contained the next time. All because of Fani and her man wanting to get down with it, allegedly. It says here, disqualifying Solicitor General on grounds of public policy. They're citing you things of where people have been disqualified. Against policy for Solicitor General to represent clients through allegations of untimely holding propriety, demands that the Solicitor General cannot personally prosecute a case in which he was personally concerned. That's right. You don't need to prosecute a case in which you have direct ties to it. Come on now. Personally, let me see. Personally concerned, Howard versus State, good morals and justice prevent side switching. Good morals and justice prevents. So let's say you have, prevent side switching. Good morals and justice prevent you from side switching. Let's say you were on one side of something once upon a time and you fought hard for it. This law prevents you from side switching. You can't just all of a sudden, if you fought for something so hard and desperately and spoke out on it, now you want to switch sides. No, it's not morally. You're morally corrupt, according to these people. All right, let's get back to it, y'all. Hold on a minute, y'all. Hold on, let me fix my chair. All right, I'm back. So it says it prevents you from switching sides. Okay. Let's see. Disqualifying. No, I was down here somewhere. Hold on, y'all. Demands that the Solicitor General cannot personally prosecute a case in which the administration of law, and especially that of the criminal law, like Caesar's wife, be above suspicion and should be free from all temptation, bias, or prejudice. But this one right here is where we left off at. Baker versus State. Holding propriety demands that the Solicitor General cannot personally prosecute a case in which he was personally concerned. Howard versus State. Finding public policy and good morals and justice prevents side switching. So if you have good morals and justice, you can't just be switching. If you stand on it. Then it says the Georgia Supreme Court has most recently denoted conflicts of interest and forensic misconduct as the two. Hold on. My computer trying to act up on me. to know a conflict of interest includes acquiring a personal interest or stake in the defendant's conviction. Child. They cite all kind of cases. Williams, Black Laws Dictionary, defining conflict of interest as a real or seeming incompatibility between one's private interest and one's public or fiduciary duties. In such circumstances, no showing of prejudice by a defendant is required. Amusement sales, okay. United States citing. Let's see what they say. This is because the prosecutor's duty to remain. This is because the prosecutor's duty to the public creates an additional public interest that must remain unconflicted in every criminal case. Okay, guys. A prosecutor must remain independent. I don't care if you even because everyone in the United States, for right now, unless Trump wins, everyone is presumed innocent until proven guilty. But I'm telling you one thing I know and two for sure. If Trump get back in there, he ain't gonna never. What that man said in Harlem Nights, I ain't never coming home. He ain't never leaving. He ain't leaving. A determination of whether a prosecutor is laboring under a conflict of interest is a fact-driven one. And it says to see Battle versus State. Finding insufficient evidence of a conflict of interest after establishing through testimony the attenuated nature of the connection between the lead prosecutor and victim's mother, who worked as an employee in the same office. Well, boy, it's got all kind of cases out here. I'm telling you, you can learn some over here on my channel. Y'all better keep watching. It says, in this case, Special Assistant District Attorney Sada Wade's manner of payment is not actionable on its own. Whether a private attorney like Wade is paid by the billable hour, a motive exists to extend or prolong the assignment. Yes. This, however, is a tension that the legal profession has long accepted. It is also the type of speculative status violation that our courts have regularly denied as insufficient grounds for disqualification, absent solid proof of some other conduct. But they found it for these two, didn't they? Y'all better wake up. Y'all better stay woke, as Omnibus said. Finding wrongdoing cannot be imputed to an attorney based on a marital status alone. Thus, a Sada's oath of office, Special Assistant District Attorney, y'all remember that's what that means, in combination with the supervision theoretically provided by a neutral and detached district attorney, should generally be sufficient to dispel the appearance of that improper incentive. Nor would a romantic relationship between prosecutors standing alone typically implicate disqualification, assuming neither prosecutor had the ability to pay the other as long as the relationship persisted. But see, Fani's paid homeboy, okay? But in combination, as it is alleged here by the defendants, a prima facie argument arises of financial enrichment and improper motivations, which inevitably and unsurprisingly invites a motion such as this. As to the financial allegations, the court makes the following factual findings. On November the 1st, 2021, the district attorney hired Nathan Wade to serve as a SADA, a special assistant district attorney, and lead the investigation that produced the indictment in this case. Then she started sleeping with the man. And now he has had to recuse or resign because they started having an affair. And you just can't do that because she is paying him money. She is paying him money. So you can't be sleeping with the man or the woman that you paying. You can't do it. And I don't understand why you did that, Fani. You know better. Was it that good? What is the deal here? And is it my understanding that they're both married? I think they're both married. I could be wrong. But if I was married to either one of them, I would get me a freaking divorce. I would not stay married to that person. I would get a divorce. I would get a freaking divorce. You can have him or you can have her. It is what it is. All right, let me get back to reading this. The district attorney considers at least, the district attorney considered at least one of the other before hiring Wade, extending an offer to former Governor Roy Barnes, who declined. The contract allowed a $250 hourly rate. $250 an hour. And she was getting a ping ping. Ooh, child. Okay. The contract allowed a $250 hourly rate, a relatively low amount by Metro Atlanta standards for an attorney with Wade's years of experience, and contained a ceiling on the maximum number of hours permitted. Well, that's still a lot to me, but so that what they saying is that still wasn't what somebody else, a Brad Pitt would have got $900 an hour. I'm just saying, I'm just here to tell you what's going on. A relatively low amount by Metro. Okay. Then it says contained a ceiling on the maximum number of hours permitted. Under the terms of the first contract, Wade was not to perform more than 60 hours of work per month without written permission. No evidence introduced indicates that Wade ever received permission to exceed these monthly hourly caps. I guess he did when he started laying the pipe. It says his contract was renewed on November the 15th, 2022, and again on June the 12th, 2023, because he was laying it down. Okay. And Fani said she didn't care. Fani didn't care if he worked 1,000 hours. She was going to pay him because he was doing what he needed to do. It says between October 2022 and May 2023, the district attorney and Wade traveled together on 4 occasions that resulted in documentable expenses. The first included an extended trip in October of 2022 to Miami and Aruba and a cruise. Well, I'll be dipped in buttermilk. Wade initially covered expenses for the October trip, totaling approximately $5,223. Child. Whew. I know his wife is pissed. In December of 2022, the two flew to Miami for another cruise, for which the district attorney paid $1,394 for plane tickets, while Wade purchased passage for the cruise along with other vacation-related expenses totaling approximately $383,684. 2224 States Opposition Exhibit 4. In March of 2023, the two traveled to Belize, where Wade covered resort and restaurant expenses in the amount of approximately $3,000. In May of 2023, they traveled to Napa Valley, where Wade covered airfare, lodging, and Uber rides in the amount of around $2,829. My. In addition, the two described taking a number of day-long road trips to Tennessee. Lord, I really been real stressed, down and out, losing pride. Trips to Tennessee, Alabama, South Carolina, North Carolina, and other parts of Georgia. Y'all bet not had said Arkansas, and I missed that, baby, because you come to Arkansas if you want to. I'm going to be there. They also admitted to dining out on multiple occasions and taking turns covering the bill. With seemingly full access to Wade's primary credit card statements, the defendants did not produce evidence of any further documentable expenses or gifts, nor were any revealed through the testimony. In total, defendants point to an aggregate documented benefit of, at most, approximately $12,000 to $15,000 in the district attorney's favor. That would be Fani. The district attorney and Wade testified that these expenditures were not meant as gifts and not designed to benefit the district attorney. Him laying the ping wasn't designed to benefit her. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. You know what? This woman and this man, what y'all saying over here, child? What are y'all saying over here, honey? What y'all saying? Because Fani and the special district attorney was having an affair, and they was traveling around Belize and all kind of places. He was laying it down. Now he's had to resign. Now she got to get her another prosecutor. You can't give Trump no room. They just giving Trump what he wants. Yes. He's the biggest crook that's been in the world or White House. You better know it, child. You better know it, Patricia. Yes, he is. Hey, Chubbs. Girl, I missed the pen. I was trying to get home, Chubbs. I fell asleep last night. Y'all ended it. I was going to hit that doggone panel. He needs to be locked up for all the crimes he has committed. Oh, talking about Trump. Hey, Chubbs. They say, hey, Chubbs. Shout out to the OG moderator in the building. Zaboria Short. He needs to be in jail. We all better get out and vote, or we will be in like Russia in a dictatorship. I'm trying to tell you, you will. You will. Wait a minute. You will. You will. Zaboria, do you think that might be a possibility? Russia has been like that for. It is a possibility. If Trump get in again, he's not leaving. He didn't want to leave the first time. You see what he did? You see what he incited? Come on, y'all. I need y'all to be smart. I need y'all to be the smart people that you are. Think about it. If Trump did it the first time, if he get back in, he's not leaving. Hey, Mookie. Trump has already said that he would be a dictator day one and he would try. I know. The judge ruling was good. Good thing he didn't give the case to another district attorney. I know. They said the flesh is weak, but the flesh is more than weak. The flesh is a mother for you. The flesh done brought a whole lot of people down, child. It will. It'll make folk. It make folk do strange things. Brad, every time it looked like it get close for Trump to go to jail, something come up in his favor. Yes, I believe he's going to jail, but it would be house arrest. Okay, we're going to see. We're going to mark that. I'm going to mark this statement. He must have a ping pang, walla walla, a bing bang. You talking about that special prosecutor? What's his name? Wade. Yeah, he got something. Made Fani give up. It made Fani forget about all the training she's been taught, all of her morals and values. The woman is smart. She knows the law. She knows what she was doing. What I want you guys to know, those two people knew what they were doing were wrong. They are some smart people. That's a smart brother and a sister. You can bank on it. They smart. Very smart. If loving you is wrong, they don't want to be right. I'm going to close the show out with that. If loving you is wrong, she didn't want to be right, and neither did he. They didn't care. Patricia, you had to do that song. Yeah, hit that like button. Hit the like button. We need to save our country from Trump and his maggot friends. Get out and vote, 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 so we don't have to have Trump dictate to us, child, okay? We ain't gonna have no YouTube. They gonna monitor what we do on YouTube. People won't be able to drag nobody no more. Well, that might be a good thing. Men won't be able to drag women anymore on the YouTube streams. Okay, we need to save our country from Trump and his. Okay, I read that. That has never been a true statement. Is guilty until proven innocent. Okay. Guilty to proven. She's not married. I don't know if he. Oh, so she's a child. She wanted that man, honey. By any means necessary. Malcolm X, rest in peace. While shaking my head, they was acting like people that wasn't married, just out here living like a spouse. Well, maybe they both. I don't know. I thought they were married. But even if they were not married, they still couldn't be commingling. And she's the district attorney and he's the special prosecutor. No. Trump will only have one term and he's already. Kenyatta, if that man get back in there, he ain't leaving. He not leaving. He not leaving. He not leaving. He will refuse to leave. In my humble opinion. Let me see, what am I trying to do here? Can y'all still see the documents that I'm reading? If I leave it like that. It says the district attorney and Wade testified that these expenditures were not, okay, I read that, well, not minutes. Yeah. Both testified that the DA regularly reimbursed Wade in cash. And if not reimbursed, the district attorney would cover a comparable related expense. For example, the district attorney testified that she reimbursed Wade in cash for the Aruba trip, which she estimated cost around $2,000, and that she gave him money for both cruises. She further claimed that she reimbursed Wade for the entirety of the Belize trip and that she paid for the Napa Valley excursions. Finally, while Wade could have bought meals in 2020, which totaled more than $100, she would also regularly pay for his meals. That ping he got himself was tough. Such a reimbursement practice may be unusual, and the lack of any documentary corroboration understandably concerning. Yet the testimony withstood direct contradiction, was corroborated by other evidence. For example, her payment of airfare for two on the 2022 Miami trip, and was not so incredible as to be inherently unbelievable. However, as the district attorney herself acknowledged, no ledger exists. I don't have proof, Your Honor. I'm just telling you this pretty much. It says, other than a best guesstimate, there is no way to be certain that expenses were split completely evenly, meaning somebody lying. And the district attorney may well have received a net benefit of several $100s. Despite this, after considering all of the surrounding circumstances, the court finds that the evidence did not establish that the district attorney's receipt of a material financial benefit as a result of her decision to hire and engage in a romantic relationship with Wade. Simply put, the defendants have not presented sufficient evidence indicating that the expenses were not roughly divided evenly, or that the district attorney was or currently remains greatly and peculiarly interested in this prosecution. Oh, child, this is a lot. Look, people, if you're a district attorney, you can't be commingling like that. You can't do it. You just can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. We need to say, what was that? Okay, y'all was laughing. Okay, let me see what y'all was saying. If the corpse get back in, all hell will break loose. We're kind of screwed. I second that. She just had too much money. Hey, Kizzy is in the building. How you doing? I know it's a late one, child. It's a late one. It's a late one. Yes, Kenyatta, it's just going to be worse. He ain't gonna leave. I'm telling y'all, he won't leave. He will never leave. He would never leave. I'm glad she will remain on the case. Yeah, she will remain on the case. This is just, it's too much. It's too much. Let me see what else they were saying. Hold on, guys. All right, let's finish reading some more of this right here. Then I'm gonna get ready to go to bed. We left off right. In addition, and much more important, the court finds, based largely on the district attorney's testimony, that the evidence demonstrated that the financial gain flowing from her relationship with Wade was not a motivating factor or on the part of the DA to indict and prosecute this case. While a general motive for more income can never be disregarded entirely, the DA was not financially destitute throughout this time or in any great need. And she testified that her salary exceeds $200,000 per year without any indication of excessive expense or debt. So meaning her credit is probably good and she wasn't lacking for any money. So that was good for her. Similarly, the court further finds that the defendants have failed to demonstrate that the district attorney's conduct has impacted or influenced the case to the defendant's detriment. Trump's still guilty as hell. While prejudice is not a required element for disqualification, it is relevant to consideration of due process and the defendant's requested remedy of complete dismissal. Defendants argued that the financial arrangement created an incentive to prolong the case, but in fact, there is no indication that the district attorney is interested in delaying anything. Indeed, the record is quite to the contrary. Before the relationship came to light, the state requested that trial begin less than 6 months after indictment. Soon thereafter, the state opposed severance of the objecting defendants who did not demand their statutory right to a speedy trial. The state argued that it only wanted to try the case once, assuming that such a trial would have been affirmed after any necessary post-conviction appeals. All this legal stuff here. Trump document 37, 9/12 of 2023. That's where that came from. The state amended its proposed timeline in November of 2023 to request that the trial commence less than 1 year after the return of the indictment. And even before indictment, the DA approved a grand jury presentment that included fewer defendants than the special purpose grand jury recommended. A special purpose grand jury. I've never heard of that. It says, see the order entering special purpose grand jury's final report into court record. It says, in summary, pretty much, the district attorney has not in any way acted in conformance with the theory that she arranged a financial scheme to enrich herself or endear herself to Wade by extending the duration of this prosecution or engaging in excessive litigation. Without sufficient evidence that the district attorney acquired a personal stake in the prosecution or that her financial arrangements had any impact on the case, the defendant's claim of an actual conflict must be denied. Okay. This finding is by no means an indication that the court condones the tremendous lapse in judgment or the unprofessional manner of the district attorney's testimony during the evidentiary hearing. Oh, she was something else when she testified, because you know she's into law, so she already know the game, you know. It says, rather, it is the undersigned's opinion that Georgia law does not permit the finding of an actual conflict for simply making bad choices, even repeatedly. And it is the trial court's duty to confine itself to the relevant issues and applicable law properly brought before it. Other forums or sources of authority, such as the General Assembly, the Georgia State Ethics Commission, the State Board of Georgia, the Fulton County Board of Commissioners, or the voters of Fulton County, may offer feedback on any unanswered questions that linger. But those are not the issues determinative to the defendant's motions, allegations, and actual conflict. Ooh, child. Appearance of impropriety. Ooh, you know what? Fani, girl, you and Wade, y'all was just doing too much. Y'all was just doing too much, Fani. You're doing too much. She fell for the ping, ping, pingity, ping, ping, ping. What y'all talking about? Okay. Let me see what y'all saying. I done got tired of reading. I have gotten tired of reading. I thought I had something else to play by that judge, though. But the Simpsons called this out years ago in a cartoon. They probably did. You know, they call out a bunch of stuff. Brandon, the Simpsons know exactly how all this ends. Okay. Hey, QSC, that's all they want was time. They got it. Mm-hmm. Yep, she gave it to him, child. Yes, they've been true on a few things since I'm about to start watching cartoons again. Life is just a big cartoon. Mm-hmm. Hey, Sergeant King, how are you doing? Life is just a big cartoon. I'm in Atlanta and we will vote her out. Y'all gonna vote her out? She fell for it. She fell for the ping, 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 and the ding, ding, the ling. I thought I had a video that I wanted to show. Let me see. I thought I had a video of that judge. I thought I did, guys. Let me see if I can find that video. Y'all give me a minute. I'll be right back. All right, let's listen to a little bit of this right here.
Ever visited you at the place you laid your head?
So let's be clear, because you lied in this. Let me tell you which one you lied in. Right here. I think you lied right here. No. This is the truth,
Judge.
And it is a lie.
The fire and brimstone.
Okay. I have not seen her testimony. And they said, she's a smart, she probably a AKA and not a devil. I don't know. She's baby. Let me hear what this woman had to say. Look, I done told y'all now, she ain't no dummy. She's very smart. She just fell for the ping ping. That's the only thing. Sometimes that ping be really, really good. Okay. Still not an excuse.
Testimony from Fulton County DA Fani Willis has come to a head. Judge Scott McAfee has ruled Willis, or the special prosecutor she hired to oversee the case against former President Donald Trump and his associates, must step off the case or hand it off to someone else. What will happen, and what does it mean? Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. This ruling from Scott McAfee found that there's the appearance of impropriety in the RICO case against Donald Trump since Fulton County DA Fani Willis dated Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade. When the relationship started is at issue. Was it before Willis hired Wade or after? Willis and Wade say the affair started after she hired him and that it ended this year. Lawyers for former President Trump and his co-defendants say it started well before that in 2019.
You have no doubt that their romantic relationship was in effect from 2019 until the last time you spoke with her.
No doubt.
And that's based on your personal observations and speaking with them and seeing them together and things like that.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the key questions here was whether or not Fani Willis benefited financially from paying Nathan Wade more than $600,000 to work as a special prosecutor. The two took many vacations together.
Yeah, I gave him his money before we ever went on that trip.
You gave him cash before you ever went on the trip?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so when you got cash to pay him back on these trips, would you go to the ATM?
No, lady.
You would not go to the ATM.
No.
Okay. So Fulton County pays you direct deposit, I assume?
Yes.
Child, are you telling the truth, girl? Why you give me that man?
Fulton County and the state of Georgia both pay me direct deposits.
Okay. So the cash that you would pay him, you wouldn't get it out of the bank.
I have money in my house.
You have money in your house. So it was just money that was there.
When you meet my father, he was going to tell you as a woman, you should always have, which I don't have, so let's don't tell him that. You should have at least 6 months in cash at your house at all times. Now, I don't know why this old black man feels like that, but he does. When we were growing up, my daddy had 3 safes in the house. So my father's bought me a lockbox, and I always keep cash in the house. Now, I don't do it to the degree that my father would do it, so he would probably be ashamed with me, but I always have cash at the house. That has been, I don't know, all my life. If you're a woman and you go on a date with a man, you better have $200 in your pocket. So if that man acts up, you can go where you want to go. So I keep cash in my house, and I don't keep cash as good.
If I'm going somewhere, I'm gonna make sure I can pay for it myself, just in case a ninja wanna get ignorant. Okay, make sure you can handle it yourself. Now that's facts. That's facts.
In my purse like I used to, because I don't go on many dates. But when you go on a date, you should have cash in your pocket.
It's clear to point out that Judge McAfee said the evidence isn't sufficient to establish an actual conflict of interest, but he said there is an appearance of impropriety. So he's saying either Fani Willis or Nathan Wade have to step off the case, or the case is not going to proceed. One of them must go. That's the ruling from the judge. I'll get you back to this episode of Crime Fix in just a second, but first I want to tell you about our sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is the largest personal injury law firm in the United States. And taking on a big insurance company is a lot. Here are a few of the company's big .com/crimefix.
Attention retirees, if you're willing to be at your computer from 9 a.m. to 10:45 a.m.
County in Florida. Dave, your first thoughts on Judge McAfee saying to Fani Willis, either you or Nathan Wade have to go?
You know, I was thinking that the judge may want to split hairs. I just didn't know how he would do it. And it is kind of a head-spinning opinion. He's essentially saying that he doesn't believe Nathan Wade. But if you say that Nathan Wade is lying, then isn't Fani Willis also not credible, but he is saying that he doesn't believe Nathan Wade, but you have to have an actual conflict to disqualify the DA. And there is no actual conflict here because it's not like the relationship is between the prosecutor and the judge or the prosecutor and defense lawyer or a witness. And so she's allowed to remain, but he says if she's going to stay, then Nathan Wade has to go. I thought this would be the end result. I just didn't know how you would get there, but he's getting there by saying there's an appearance of impropriety, and because of that, you got to get rid of Nathan Wade. So there's a little bit of legal jujitsu here, but I think the end result is the right one because the case can continue, and I take that as a W for Fani Willis.
Why do you think he was so reluctant to say that he didn't believe Fani Willis? Because if one is lying, I feel like they both have to be lying. I mean, he obviously could find that Nathan Wade was lying because there's a lot there to show that he was potentially dishonest. And so Fani Willis, though, a lot of what she said maybe didn't make sense.
I guess he's saying that he's going to leave the issue of sanctions for lying to the bar, but his sole determination is whether there's an actual conflict. Also, Nathan Wade to the judge was not credible because he lied on his divorce paperwork. And that's something he did aside from Fani Willis. And because of that, he was able to say, okay, I don't believe you, but also the witnesses against Fani Willis, Miss Yeardy, for example, she had some credibility issues according to the judge. She had a reason to lie herself. And then there was Terrence Bradley, who was supposed to support Fani Willis, but he didn't have much credibility either, according to the judge. So essentially, he said, hey, I can't establish an actual conflict, but things smell bad. And because of that, one of you has to go.
Things certainly did smell bad. I mean, we had Fani Willis dating a guy that she hired and paid more than $600,000 to work as a special prosecutor on a case against the former president of the United States, whether you like the former president or not, and his associates for
$600,000. Ooh, he got a big ping, 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 ping. Yeah. Good give it a mug of Woo, child.
For trying to overturn allegedly an election in the state of Georgia, for trying to change the results. And, she starts dating the guy, and there's this whole issue about when the relationship started. Did it start before she hired him or after she hired him? And it really appeared that there may have been some evidence, even though some of that didn't get in. They didn't bring in the stuff with the cell phones and all of that, that maybe it did start before she hired him.
And that's why I call this a self-inflicted wound, because this should just be about whether there is an actual conflict. If they had just come clean at the beginning to say, yeah, we've been dating and I'm not going to keep him around anymore, the relationship is over, and because to eliminate any appearance of impropriety, he's going to leave the prosecution team, I think this thing would have been over. This would not have gone any further because there's no actual conflict. But because Nathan Wade submitted a sworn affidavit to the court saying that not only did the relationship start later, meaning that it started after he was hired, but also they essentially went Dutch, he got reimbursed, then that injected this whole issue of lying and truthfulness to the court. And I thought that would be a reason to disqualify both of them if the judge found that they were lying to the court. But essentially the judge said, I don't believe Nathan Wade, but I can't conclude that Fani Willis is lying. And if she is, that's going to be handled by the bar. As far as I'm concerned, it's only about whether there's an actual conflict. Well, then the question is, if it's only about whether it's an actual conflict, why force Nathan Wade to be thrown overboard? Because the judge had to do that legal jiu-jitsu of saying, well, there's an appearance, so you've got to choose which one will go. And that's why my head's spinning a little bit, because it's not a clean decision, but it's a decision that I think gets to where they should be, which is keep the case going because it's still a strong case. Allow DA Willis to stay on the case, because if she was disqualified, the case really would have been over. But Nathan Wade, the source of these issues, needs to go.
I don't want to be a complete cynic here, but I have to be a little bit of a cynic. I mean, how much is politics at play here? Judge McAfee was appointed. He's running for a re-election or election in November. He suddenly has opponents coming out of the woodwork who are aligned with Fani Willis. So how much are politics at play here, in your opinion?
Well, I'm going to take Judge McAfee at his word. He said that there were no politics at play. He just tries to do the right thing. He has to look his children in the eye, and he wants them to grow up knowing his father did the right thing, regardless of politics. There's no reason for me to believe he's lying. He is, I think, done a good job thus far to show that he is just beholden to the evidence and the law, and he's not going to give anyone special favors. I think he shows a lot of gravitas, despite he's only 34 years old, too young to run for president himself. But I guess that's the benefit of a receding hairline. But as far as Judge McAfee goes, I'm going to take him at his word that he just did this based on what he thinks is the right thing to do. But there'll always be allegations of politics. That's where we are as a country these days. And you just have to move on and focus on the evidence and the law.
Steve Sadow is former President Trump's attorney, and he put a statement out on X following the release of this ruling. And he said, while respecting the court's decision, we believe that it did not afford appropriate significance to the prosecutorial misconduct of Willis and Wade, including the financial benefits, testifying untruthfully about when their personal relationship began, as well as Willis's extrajudicial MLK, quote, church speech, where she played the race card and falsely accused the defendants and their counsel of racism. We will use all legal options available as we continue to fight to end this case, which should never have been brought in the first place. Your response to Steve Sadow's comments?
You don't get to end the case because the prosecutor goes into a church and makes comments that insinuate that race is involved. That doesn't mean the case goes away. It doesn't even mean that she gets disqualified from it. So that's his weakest argument. But he has a legitimate claim when he says that if you can show that the parties lied, meaning the DA and the special prosecutor lied to the court, then they need to be disqualified. That's a legitimate argument. And the interesting part for me of Judge McAfee's ruling is that essentially he did find that Nathan Wade was untruthful. Like, he found that Wade is untruthful, but not necessarily Fani Willis, which is tough to align because they both said the same thing. In fact, Fani Willis adopted Nathan Wade's affidavit, which said the relationship began later and he was reimbursed for costs. So he does have a gripe there, but whether it is enough to disqualify her is another matter, because this is really about whether an actual conflict exists. And there is not an actual conflict. I agree with the court on that. To me, I just thought that if the judge found that they were lying, then they would be disqualified as well. And essentially the judge is saying, yeah, I think probably, but it's not conclusive for Fani Willis. And besides, if they are, it's up to the bar to decide.
What do you see happening? Does Nathan Wade go and Fani Willis stays on the case along with the other special prosecutors that she hired?
Yeah. Nathan Wade is gone. Bye, Felicia. He's going to be thrown overboard because there's no way that Fani Willis takes option B, which is disqualify herself from the case. I mean, they're not even dating anymore.
Did he say bye, Felicia? Did he just say bye, Felicia? Have y'all voted on the poll? Make sure y'all vote on the poll. I'm getting ready to end it in a minute because as soon as this video finishes, we're going to be done. He said bye, Felicia. Child, no, he didn't. Yes, he did, honey.
So she has two other special prosecutors who can step up and fill his role, and that's what will happen. So that's what's going to go. This case was never going to happen before the election. It was always going to go to trial afterwards because you've got many defendants. You've got complex RICO cases, RICO matters, and these RICO trials take months. So I never expected this to happen before the election. So when people say, oh, no, this is going to create delays, doesn't matter. It's not material because the delays were always built into this case. This was always going after the election. It just means, though, that the case will happen, that it will happen unless Trump becomes president. And if he becomes president, he's going to surround himself with Secret Service and dare state officials to come at him. And then we'll be in a constitutional crisis. So hang on.
So, Dave, what do you see happening next with this?
This case is going to move forward. It will be delayed, at least Trump's trial, until after the election. She'll keep pursuing the other defendants. I think that could happen before the election. But Trump will go on trial in this case. If he's not president, he'll go on trial in this case after the election. I don't know when, but Fani Willis needs to just take the W, ignore the noise out there, try to have the thick skin and not be too worried about the criticism and just move forward and move on. I think there'll be some bar issues. There'll be some legislative attempts to get at her, but you can't be worried about that as a prosecutor. You have to be focused solely on the law and the evidence.
Dave Ehrenberg, thanks so much for coming on.
Well, all right. That's all, guys. That's it for tonight. Thank y'all for stopping by. QST, Brandy, Kenyatta, Kizzy, Alec in the building, Sergeant. Thank y'all for stopping by for this late night social justice video. I know it's not that exciting. I know it's not the messy, mixy stuff you're used to. I know it's not. But this is what I do over here. I'm in Atlanta. We will vote out, child. What's the name of the Simpsons cartoon of Fanny? I don't know. Hey, Lizzie. Miss Lizzie in here? Did I miss her? Where's she at? Well, hey, Miss Lizzie. Hey, Alec, serving the receipts. You better serve the receipts, Alec. Okay. People are crazy. Yeah, they crazy. The cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That's what they are, Alec. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Happy birthday again, Alec. Okay. Ballpark Franks with chili. I always have enough money. Oh, okay. Y'all talk. Yes. If you're gonna go out on a date, look, like if you go out on a date with a man, you gotta still have your own money just in case. Just in case things go left at the end of the night. You better be able to pay for yourself. No. Don't go nowhere broke. Ain't gonna do it. Don't do it. What did I say I was gonna play? I said I was gonna play a song to close this out. What was it, y'all? Can somebody help me? The down payment on her exit. What song did I say I was gonna play, y'all? I know. Shared you out on my community wall, Philly Field. Well, come on, Alec. Thank you, child. You know I need the help over here, Alec. I ain't getting no views, Alec. I'm just a poor country girl. I get views on my shorts. Because everyone can look at it as a special treatment kind of thing amongst peers. Do I guess that's what they want to remove weight? So I guess that's why they want. Yep. They're investigating her instead of investigating Trump. Child. That's the way that's the way some things work. I wanted to play a certain song. Oh, and I cannot think of the name of it. It was something related to, what did I say I was going to play, y'all? What did I say I was going to play? Can somebody tell me? I know y'all be listening to what I be saying. Right? Loving Ren. I can't remember what I said I wanted to play. But I want a song to close this out on, but oh, If Loving You Is Wrong. Oh, yes. Thank you. Y'all know I be forgetting. Look, y'all know I be forgetting. Who told me that? Who's told me? Thank you, Patricia. Okay, let me turn on my speaker.
Power on. Bluetooth pairing.
Hold on.
Bluetooth.
We're going to dedicate this song to Fannie and Wade. If loving you is wrong, even if it means costing America